And welcome to This Week in Jacksonville Plus. This is something specific to our News4Jax insiders, and it is streaming on News4Jax Plus. So This Week in Jacksonville Plus is in addition to those interviews that you see on Channel 4 on our show that airs Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. So really excited. George Maxey is with me today talking about Elevate Jacksonville.
Yes.
If you would just explain, as I understand, it's a school-based program, and you've got a focus here. You want to help, as I see it here, equip young people to thrive and contribute in their community. Tell me more about
Absolutely.
this.
Elevate Jacksonville has been around for about 20 years, or Elevate USA has been around for over 20 years, and we've been in Jacksonville for 5. We have over 20 locations nationwide in regards as part of Elevate. It was started in Denver, Colorado, and the whole focus and goal is really helping students learn character. So we focus on 13 character traits in the schools. We are a class in the school. We're not an after-school program, but we're a class on a student's schedule, and our whole focus is touching on 13 character traits in regards to life skills and characteristics that we want our students to have.
How do students get plugged into that? Oh, my goodness, my guidance counselor put me in this class. Or
Yes.
no, they choose as an elective or something like that?
Yes, this is an elective class. They're chosen by their guidance counselor, building principal, assistant principal. We're located in 4 schools right now. We start from 7th grade to 12th grade. And we want students who come into the program their first year with either a 1.6 to a 2.6. Our goal is to look at that middle group of individuals focusing on character. Now, why do we focus on character? Our biggest thing is this. Students need a level of hope. Now, when we think about hope and we talk about character, in the past, we got it from our families. Our households taught us character, our places of worship taught us character, and our schools taught us character. Well, look at it today. Schools can't teach character because they're teaching a test. They got to get children prepared for a test by the end of the year. People don't go to places of worship like they used to. You know, we see a decline in that. And more importantly, households are more stressed out, so character's not being taught there. So where do children learn how to be good people? Well, that's what Elevate comes into play. We focus on what does it mean to be a good person? What does it mean to have these 13 character traits focusing on caring, compassion, vision, positive work ethic, those things that we look for individuals to have that you're not born with, but somebody needs to go over with you, and we drill down on that.
Yeah, and that, I'm feeling that right now because I think about my surname Justice. Okay, so my father he learned from my grandfather, his father, that there's a way you do, and some of those things that there's a work ethic here. Hey, we pay our own way. We're going to earn it. And some of those things that I think we sometimes encounter for young people, we say are deficits. It's not their fault. They need somebody to mentor them, to coach them, right?
Correct. So that's the beautiful thing about Elevate Jacksonville. We're not just focusing on teaching the subject matter individually. We focus on teaching the subject matter during the school day, but we do mentoring after school. So we mentor our students after school in one-on-one settings, or small group or large group settings. But we also believe in taking our students outside of their environment. So we'll take them to the beach, we'll take them to Topgolf, we'll take them to restaurants, where we have these courageous conversations talking about life and what does it mean. But then we just don't stop there. We also look at our students in regards to what is their plans after school when you graduate. Are you going to a 2-year, 4-year college? Are you going to a trade? Are you going to the military? Are you going into the work ethic? So when our students become part of Elevate in 7th grade, we keep them to age 22 because we realize at 18 years old, what do you really know at 18? You need somebody to still walk you through that process, and that's what we do at Elevate.
If you've been to 18 and then gone past it, you realize, what did I know at age 18? You realize how many things you didn't know at 18. I appreciate it. You shared some information with me, and one of the things that I would ask about is, how do you know it's working? What are the results like? What are the outcomes like, and how do you track those? You
know, the beautiful thing about it with Elevate USA being around for 20 plus years, we have 850 research-based lessons. So our students are learning based off of nationwide data, research practices that have been done. So we do a pre and a post of our students. 35% decrease in suicide thoughts after only 2 semesters. We have a decrease of 40% in regards to violent acts, but we have an increase in attendance. We have an increase in regards to GPAs. We have a decrease in discipline referrals, because what does that mean? Our students know it's an Elevate way, how we do business, how things get done. So we just want to see students doing well in our class. We want to see them doing well in the school. We also want to see them doing well at home. So we also do home visits. We literally go to the households of the students that we serve.
So how is that, I guess, organized? Because you said, hey, we're in 4 schools right now. Are those all in Duval County?
Correct, all in Duval County. We have Westside High, Westside Middle, Ribault High, and Ribault Middle. So we have 2 pipelines, one on the north side, one on the west side. So we have these 2 identical pipelines so we can track our students from 7th grade all the way through 12th grade. Our goal is realizing that if we can have our 7th graders for their entire time, not just what the school would look like, but what would our community look like? Our goal is that if we are doing this at the highest level, and our mindset is if we're teaching hope and students are receiving a quality education, then destiny is only their option, that prosperity is going to be there for them. What we have seen in other schools is students with the lack of hope, without the proper education, leads to destruction. So how can we offset that? And that's where Elevate fills in the gap.
So one of the things that I saw in what you provided to me in terms of outcomes, 67% on education say they expect to have a great future.
A great future.
2/3 say they're going to have a great future after they've participated.
2 semesters with us, literally 2 semesters with us, and now they have a positive future on life. These are students that I say, when you start talking about violence, homicide rates, when you start looking at that, why do people commit homicides? Because there's a sense of hopelessness. What we're doing is attacking the soul of a person. We're not religious, we're not political, we're not sexual. What we focus on is this is for every student, black, white, Hispanic, it doesn't make a difference. We're focusing on what does it mean to be good to other individuals, but first starting with yourself, starting with your classmates, then starting with your school, then starting with your community. What does that look like? So we do service learning projects. We go around the school picking up trash. We go out and pass out groceries. We want our students to realize giving back is a great thing, and no one owes you anything, but accountability starts at home.
Yeah. As I'm thinking through that, so racial reconciliation, certainly something I'm passionate about, and especially these last 3 years, everything that the nation and our communities have gone through. Do you find that even though that's not like a characteristic or quality that you're trying to teach, that probably happens if across the spectrum that you just described, people are working, taking steps forward together regardless of their culture or race?
Correct, because one of our character traits or life skills we focus on is problem solving. So we have these courageous conversations. Like when we talk about race, what does that actually mean? You know, sometimes individuals get caught in a zero-sum game that for you to get something, I have to lose something. But do you really have to lose something? Or is it something that you're willing to give up to make the place a better place, make the world a better place? So we focus on those things. We focus on gang violence. Are you a victim or a victor? Can you befriend an enemy? We're drilling down on these courageous conversations with students, but if we're not preaching to them, they're coming up with the answers themselves. We only come up with the topics, and we guide them through the process. We allow the students to put them book bags down, focus on what does it mean to be a good person. We're not looking to teach anybody how to read or write or do mathematics. We're really focusing on you as an individual. It's all about the mindset and the soul.
So, George Maxey, I know now. Yes. Who else is involved here? And is this something that is funded as a nonprofit? Is it something that the schools pay for? How does this work?
Well, the thing is, we are a nonprofit entity. We do receive a small percentage from the school, but most of our donations that we receive are from private donors. We have an angel funder. We have other individuals who give to us because they believe in the cause. They believe that we have to get back into the schools building character. We just can't say we want morals and just leave it there. What does it actually look like? So we have quite a few individuals that I beat on the door with, beat on the drum, looking for corporate sponsors, helping us fund this thing called Elevate because it's something great. As a former principal, I wish I had it as a high school principal because I think about all the hours and time that I spent with students, helping them through the process. Now to have a class focusing on that, and more importantly, it kind of raises their GPA if they do well.
It seems like the focus that you would have to have as a school administrator or as a teacher would have to be more one-on-one. So this is organized, and you can probably touch more lives this way. Is
Absolutely.
that right?
We've touched over 1,500 students, almost 1,500 students in Duval County Public Schools. These students now see their outlook on life so much more better than what they used to be. They see themselves as being part of something special, but more importantly, they see themselves with a brighter future for themselves and individuals around them. We've had students come to us and say during our discussions, I was a bully and I'm not proud of it. Now I want to do better. We're talking about individuals 16, 17 years old, you know, big as a treehouse, but they realize some of the things that they did wrong and they want to make reconciliation. But more importantly, 45% of our students now want to be leaders. They want to be leaders in the community. They want to be leaders in their school. That's transformational. But we're not just trying to transform and make the school better. We want to make our community better. And to me, Elevate Jacksonville is those steps in doing that.
And so this started here in Jacksonville. I know you talked about Elevate's 20 years. When did this start in Jacksonville? And do you have plans to expand?
Yes, we started in Jacksonville 5 years ago. Okay. It'll be 5 years in this coming October. Our goal is to expand. We would love to go on to the east side and be at Matthew Gilbert and Raines High School, if not Jackson High School. Our goal is to be at different parts of the city that the city sees as being trigger points, areas of need, areas that they feel as though that crime may be prevalent, maybe an area where it may be depressed. What is it like bringing Elevate there, working with the students, working with the families, and truly empowering the community to take control? And that's what we focus on, community empowerment.
All right, George Maxey, Elevate Jacksonville. What a great idea.
Yes.
Appreciate explaining it to us.
Yes,
Thank you for your time
Thank
today.
you for the time. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for joining us. This Week in Jacksonville Plus is part of our streaming plug. It's exclusive content when you find it on News4Jax Plus.